There are lots and lots of reports this morning going on about why Raphael Varane is going to be leaving Manchester United. Lots of stories about going to Saudi Arabia, him and other players at Manchester United. I'm going to go through the list of why I think Varane will ultimately leave, and then you make your mind up and get your decision in after what I've broke down on Varane's season and why I think Inos are probably going to move him on rather than try and make him stay. It's for the player and the club. Other news as well, we're looking into the injury situation, we're looking into the transfer speculation, but most importantly, we're looking at what is more important for Manchester United right now. I have a poll up already in the chat, which is what is more important, getting the deadwood out or getting the better players in for Erik ten Hag? More and more pundits and former players, former Manchester United legends are having a go at Erik ten Hag at the moment. Some people are trying to defend him with the injury situation. Some people are contradicting themselves online and lots of debates about what they've said before. Absolute nonsense in my opinion. I'm going to go into that as well. Welcome along to the show everyone. I'm Adam. This is Forever United TV. I just want you to give the video a like. Hit that subscribe button. Both are free. You will enjoy the content. You will enjoy what we do here on the channel. It's just telling you straight. That's all it's about. So, Raphael Varane, people. Get in the live chat. Hello, everyone, by the way. Hope you're doing good. I want your thoughts. I want your opinions. I'm going to go through my list right now of why I think Raphael Varane is going to end up leaving Manchester United this summer. I'm going to bring my reasons in. For and against. I think there's more for, to be honest, him leaving than there is against him leaving right now when you look at the situation. But here we go. Let's get into it and let's start with why Raphael Varane is probably being looked at as a player to leave Manchester United this summer more than stay. Is he part of the future of Manchester United? Well, straight away you bring up his age. Where is he at? He's into his early 30s now, going in there by the end of this season, and Manchester United are looking to turn a page with Inos. They're looking to move on. Are they able to build a future around Raphael Varane? The automatic answer there is realistically no. At the age he is right now and everything going on with Manchester United, the turnaround, and this is where I sort of bring a side of Raphael Varane's on as well in terms of where I think he would probably want to leave Manchester United as well. Like, this is a player that's won absolutely everything there is to win in football, including a World Cup, for God's sake. So, he wants trophies. He may just want to go out on a high. He may not even be bothered about picking up any more trophies. I don't know. I mean, I've not spoke to the guy. He may just want to just see out the rest of his career and just feel comfortable wherever he is, wherever his personal life is and his family's situated. I don't know. There are better climates than Manchester, we'll say that. There is more money to earn after this season other than Manchester United, we'll say that. Are there other places he could go where he's got a better chance of winning a trophy? Yes, they are. Yes, there are. Because Manchester United right now are at the start of another project. And like, dare I say it, here's that word again, another process. Whether it be with Ten Hag or whether it be with another manager, it is all starting again. And Raphael Varane, at the age, like I said, he's probably looking at this and going, I could probably go and just finish my season with a bit of a bang somewhere else, rather than by the time United do get to a position where they can compete again, I'll probably be too old and really on my last legs. So, yeah, you look at that and you go, Varane would probably want to go as well as Manchester United. His injury situation, it comes up every single time. Now, some would argue, including myself, that it hasn't been a bad season for Manchester United. I still feel like he is our best defender. He is. He is our best defender. And probably played as many games as any other centre-back this season. I mean, it is a tough one, that, when it comes to who has won the appearance list when it comes to United centre-backs. As we all know, it's been a bit of a shocker with injuries this season. Well, Raphael Varane on 6 different occasions this season, again, even when you look at it being a better season, 6 different times this season, through injury, has not been available for selection for Manchester United. It goes back to the first point where I say, is he a player that you can build a future around? No, he's not. He really isn't. As good as he is, I would love for him to stay for a couple more years while we just establish ourselves under this new structure and regime of Inos. I really want him to stay. I don't want him to go, but I just look at everything and start to build the case. And it does start to sway across to Raphael Varane's leaving more than staying. Now, this may change. And there are other reports out today, you will read them, that are saying that Raphael Varane's future at Manchester United, it's not going to be decided until the season is over. That's just what a club was going to say. There are conversations going on right now. There has to be, because he can leave for free. So the situation and whether or not Manchester United want to decide on Raphael Varane staying in the summer is completely irrelevant because he'll just walk anyway. He's out of contract. We're going to have the exact same scenario as what we had with David De Gea. No professional outfit, no professional football club, and no professional football player ever make a decision when a contract is ending at the end of that season. So if anyone comes out and tells you that, or a report saying that they're going to make a decision at the end of the season, it's complete and utter bollocks. I'm just going to tell you that right now, because they have to have something in the pipeline and discussions have to have been had. Getting back to the list of why I think Varane is going to be going this summer. And again, another point that we have to bring up is his wages. Of course, his wages. Whether you want to look at PSR and financial play on this side of things and Inos's look on it, Manchester United not being in the Champions League next season, possibly not being in Europe at all, and having to balance books, then 350k a week is a big chunk of change to take off. Let's not forget, included in PSR, profit and sustainability rules with the Premier League alone, we'll have to look at that because we may not be in Europe for dealing with financial fair play. So let's stick to PSR, shall we, and where everyone's being tripped up at the moment in the Prem. And yet, wages, agents' fees and transfer fees are what are calculated by the Premier League in their form of financial fair play, let's say, PSR, like we said. That is the issue that United have got. So 350k off that a week, I mean, you can imagine what that's saving a year. Then United are in a better position straight away. So I look at that and go, that is another big reason. And I think another reason why Raphael Varane is going to leave and why the club would probably look to not is the surprise package. Well, not surprise package because you trust in your youth system, but the emergence of Willy Cambuala. Obviously, he's played a couple of games, made a couple of starts for Manchester United now in the first team. There's talk of a new contract being already lined up for Willy Cambuala at Manchester United. So the emergence of Willy is a big positive for Manchester United because that means that they may not have to buy 2 defenders in the summer. We could probably bring in 1 and still have Willy there. And then you've got the likes of Maguire, which I've said yesterday I don't think will go. Unless a stupid bid comes in, I don't think United will sell him. This will be a same situation with him going into the last year of his contract next season, Maguire, and he will probably end up leaving on a free. Just my opinion on where it's at. I don't know of anyone. I think United can sell Maguire this summer, I do. But I just feel like they will wait it out. I don't think anyone's going to come in with a bid big enough that's going to tempt Manchester United into selling Maguire a season before he actually finishes his contract. I just don't see it. There's not a chance in hell. They'd wait until the end of next season and he goes on a free. And that's where we're at with it. So, yeah, I just feel like right now with the situation in defence, the injuries really coming through, and you've got to deal with the situation of Lindelof. Now, there's talks about Lindelof as well. Maybe staying on. Maybe them not making a decision on him. Like next season, you could actually see Lindelof leaving for free. After next season, sorry. If Varane goes this summer, then we've got Lindelof, Maguire, a new centre-back and Willy Cambuala. It's still not good enough for me. Obviously, Martinez is going to be there, but we just don't know with him at the moment. And that's why I'm not bringing him in the conversation. Let's just make sure that he is fit, and that is a bonus when he is back. Willy, Martinez, 1 more signing, then you can deal with Maguire and Lindelof after that. I think that gives United enough cover, and why I think Varane will leave Manchester United. They're the main points. But the biggest one of all is that statement from Inos. Like, here's a big earner. He's won everything that there is to win. It doesn't matter. We are looking at a new structure here at Manchester United and we are letting Varane go. We are not looking to cling on to any chump change that we can at the end of any deal. We're not scraping the barrel. We are Manchester United. We are looking at the football side of things. He doesn't fit into our budget. That isn't going to be happening again. And if every other player at the football club sees Varane leaving for nothing, simply because his wages are just astronomical and not worth it to the club, then they're all going to go, ooh. And that does send a message to the agents as well. Like, Manchester United aren't the club that are going to be spending big bucks. So the mercenaries that have been coming in over the last 10 years, you know who they are. The players at the end of their careers. The good names, but too old. You're not going to see that again, I don't think, with Inos. And Varane, I'm not singling him out as like one of them, but I think he sets the benchmark. I think he sets the standard when it comes to what Inos are looking to do. Like, this is where the wage structure stops at this price tag. Simple as. That's my thoughts on Varane, guys. Let's get into the comment section and see what you guys think. Straight off the bat, Kaz, yeah, the chair is comfy. A chair update, guys. The old one is there in a heap of mess. This one is absolutely Bobby Dazzle. Watch this, watch this. Look at that. Look how smooth that is. Woo! There you go. That's the chair update anyway. It's just a bit sad that actually I can get excited about a new chair, but you know what it's like, kid with his new toys and everything. Super chat in from Jaycon says, Varane reminds me of the Smallings of the world. Mourinho called these guys out, any niggle they get in their head and don't want to play. That's like another player in Martial. I'm going to go into the comments from you guys on Raphael Varane first before I move on to the next segment, because there was other stuff I want to talk about as well. I'm just going to scroll up here just to see where we are at. Stephanie Griffin says, injury prone and high wages Varane gone, I would say. Carl says he's genuinely world class. Lindelof and Maguire are merely opponents. I don't know what that means, Carl. Opponents? Not sure, like as in like just opponents. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Just checking. General Foodie's watching while he's working. Love that. Make sure you don't get in trouble, guys, but keep it on in the background. That's why we always do it. I think that's what Kaz is doing right now. She's sneaking it on while we've got a bit of a, well, she's doing one of her meetings. Please give the video a like, guys, as well. We're creeping up to the 100 mark already. Great, fantastic, fabulous, wonderful stuff from you guys again. I think I brought in enough superlative words there for you guys to tap that like button and get them likes up. Make sure you're subscribing as well if you are just tuning in. What about Maguire? Same applies, surely. Can't build around him either. Again, another player, like I said last year, Stu, that is, next year, he's on his last year. So I don't think Manchester United, unless a bid comes in, will end up selling. Like, this is the end, like I said, this is the end of the big wages at Manchester United. That new wage structure coming in. If United have to cut their cloth according and a few players leave for free, this is just a hit that the club is going to have to take. And again, why I made the video last night regarding that 3-year plan for Inos being a stupid idea, because we're not going to be able to turn this around in 3 years. There is just too much to do. Too many players to fizzle out. Like the poll says right now, I put a poll up, guys. If you are watching later and catching up, make sure you get your comments in on everything we've spoken about via Varane so far. But the poll is, what is the bigger priority this summer? Bringing in the better players or getting rid of the deadwood? 77% are in on the deadwood. 23 on bringing players in as a priority. It's like, we know we have to get rid of these players, and it's always that killer question, isn't it? Which one? Is it more important to clear the decks first and then risk not getting the player in because you won't spend the right amount of money and get that player in and leave yourself short? Or do you get the player in first and then sell by any way? That's the question, isn't it? That's the killer one. Newbies Cubies, if Varane is willing to accept something around 100k a week, then keep him, but as a bench player, but otherwise let him go. A World Cup Champions League multi-time winner to be a bench player on 3 times less a week, less than every other defender at the football club who is better than. Newbies, I cannot see that happening, mate, I'm afraid. 100k a week is nowhere near enough for Varane. Even I'll say that. He needs to be at least the highest paid defender, I would say, or up there alongside it. Between 150 and 200k a week for that type of player on a 2-year deal, I think is sustainable for this football club. Anything less than that, and you can just, he's gone, which is why I think he is gone anyway. Younger than Maguire and played more games. Yep, Madhouse, I see your point, I really do. But he's out of contract. That's the only difference in that. Varane leaving, no problem. What about Maguire, Lindelof, Bissaka, Williams? Are they dung? I'm coming to that next, Jude, actually, so stay tuned. That's my next piece, actually, so thank you for leading me into that one nicely. Carl says again, it just looks like the easy ones are getting done again. No controversial, no surprise, no change. John, morning Adam. Is it possible to wish my baby girl a happy 21st birthday? She means the world to me. Thank you so much, buddy. Great show as usual. Happy 21st birthday to John's daughter. I would say. I didn't get a name off you there, John, but there you go. Happy birthday. Happy 21st. Hopefully the weather's better where you are than it is here. Lashing it down. Let me just see here. Graham Wild is replying to Stu and says he is not disproportionately better than the other centre-backs. If he is amenable to wage cuts, we can discuss a new contract then. Like, everyone's saying pretty much the same thing. We have another super chat in from... Sorry, I was bringing it up. Anil Skar, I think they've said that right. I do apologise if I have said that wrong, but thank you so much for the super chat. Signing proven winners at the end of their career is only useful if the rest of the team has quality to challenge for the title, but lacks experience. Yeah, I mean, Fergie did it, didn't he? He brought in Laurent Blanc, he brought in Henrik Larsson, he brought him in when he just needed that someone. The team was great, just wasn't that next level. Like, he knew when he needed to bring someone in to give us that extra bit of spice to get us through a certain period. Like, Laurent Blanc was a great signing in my opinion. He came in his 2 years, he did do a job for the club. The same with Henrik Larsson, even though it was a short loan period, he did fantastic while he was here and he was brilliant. Fergie knew when to get these like short-term deals in for the football club. And they always worked. They always worked. You could even say Teddy Sheringham was that type of player. Coming to the twilight of his career, Fergie seen an opportunity and grabbed it with two hands. The next thing you know, titles, Champions Leagues, every trophy under the sun, Teddy won the lot. And that was because Manchester United just needed that extra player. We already had enough, but we knew we needed something else. It only works when your team is in a perfect sort of position. By that I mean already... well routined, well run, every player in every position, everyone knows the role, everyone is working to the manager's wishes. They are a smooth operating machine, you would say. Arsenal, City, Liverpool, for example. You bring an old player now to Arsenal, like an old style goal scorer, I think they guaranteed the league title. That's all they need, even though they've got a better goal difference than everyone else. It's crazy to say that, isn't it? But they are like missing that one key number 9. I think that's what Arsenal go out and buy in the summer. And then they really are looking like a solid outfit with a very young team, with a lot of years to come, I feel. Let's see what else we've got in the chat. Get her notes. We have to sell to buy, so a clear out has to happen. Pashant says Maguire is actually older than Varane and this year more injury prone than Varane. Like I said, the centre-back situation has been horrendous this year. I've never known anything like it. It has been bad beyond, hasn't it? Henry Long, Adam, you are showing a lot of faith in Inos. I am wary of them myself. I will believe it when I see it. I mean, all we can do is talk about what they've said, Henry, isn't it? It's not like I'm showing faith. Like, I've said that the 3-year plan is stupid. I don't think it'll work. But what else can we do? It's not like we are going to decide whether they stay or go. If we don't like Ineos, we're not going to be the ones that say that they are out of the football club. It's not going to work like that. So we have to sort of just trust it a bit. And like you said, Henry, it's like, let's just see what they do. Like, the proof is in the pudding, is in the eating. And they've got to do some walking as well as the talking, as they say. And... yeah, time will tell. Time will tell with Ineos. And we are going to have to give them that time. We have to be patient. I just wish they didn't say 3 years. I keep going on about it. I know, I'm sorry, but no. Going into the next bit, and which was brought up by one of the chats a minute ago. Quickly, first of all, Mark Lambridge with a super chat. Removing more winners from a team that can't win. Good point, Mark. Yes, that is another argument for keeping Rafa, I would say. But looking ahead to what else is happening at Manchester United in terms of like other players, like we can safely say that there is going to be another 6 squad players that leave for nothing that United cannot get anything out of, like price-wise. Like 6 leaving, yeah, it's good off the wage bill, and it is a sign that Ineos are just saying, look, we have to cut our cloth according and just get rid. Like they are going to have to take that hit. So if you go through it, players that definitely will not be at Manchester United next season, this is a guarantee because of the contract situation. Martial, Brandon Williams, Heaton, Johnny Evans, Amari Forson. Like, you could add Amrabat to that with his loan spell, because he will definitely be going back to Fiorentina. And you would say there are 6 squad players that are going to be out of the door this summer, not contributing to Manchester United at all, for no money. Wages gone, contracts ended, finished. You look at all of them players. Amrabat was bought in as the option. The Casemiro replacement failed miserably. Absolute failure at this football club. I know he hasn't been given a chance, but there's a reason probably why he hasn't. He hasn't had anywhere near enough game time to sort of really convince us or try and change our minds. He's just going to be going back. Like, there is something that he just cannot handle in this league, whether it's something in training that Ten Hag and his coaching team have seen. He just isn't good enough. It's as simple as that. Martial. I mean, Martial, by the way, was supposed to be back by now. And all anyone's seen of him was in the executive section, again for the Liverpool game, taking his seat there. And it was put out by Samuel Luckhurst in the MEN that, yeah, he was late for that as well. So, I mean, seriously, the man is a joke. I don't care what anyone says to me about Martial. Like, he was due back already, and we've still not seen him, even in a training session. I said it at the time. As soon as he said he's going to decide to go in for that minor surgery, then Martial, forget it, he's done. That's the last we're going to see of him. Crack open the party poppers, get the bunting out. That man has left the football club, and he can take his £250,000 wage a week as well and leave it at the door. Thank you. That's 600 grand a week, by the way, in Varane and Martial alone that the club is saving in wages. Add that up over a year. Ouch! Martial. God, yes. That's player number 2. Amrabat, Martial, gone. Williams hasn't played all season. Like Samuel Luckhurst said, again, another good point, and Samuel Luckhurst dig. He does it subtly as well sometimes, Samuel. But he gets a lot of stick for what he writes, but a lot of the time it is just hard-hitting truths. And people don't like it, because not many people like the truth when it comes to talking about United. Brandon Williams, last time he was seen, was attending a court case. He hasn't played on loan all season, really enough. All year, sorry, for Ipswich. So, again, another waste. 65 grand a week wages. So let's add 665 grand gone, wiped off. Oh, we've not even added Amrabat's to that either. I'm not sure what he's actually on Amrabat, but you could probably say that's taken us over the 750 grand mark. So $750,000 a week gone off the wage bill. So I'm balancing the fact that we're not getting any fees for these players with the fact that we are saving a fortune in wages right now. Nate with the super chats. I think Inos have identified their new manager already, not Ten Hag in brackets, he says. You have to wonder why Levy at Spurs didn't like Ten Hag. The football is pants. That's from Nate. Cheers for the super chat, Nate. I hear what you're saying, and that is a big argument. As you can see there at the bottom of the screen on the scroll on the banner, Rio Ferdinand's comments recently on Erik Ten Hag and what he thinks. I was saying at the top of the show, like, a lot more former Man United legends, players, other pundits are having their say even more on Ten Hag right now. Jamie Carragher, another one. We talked yesterday about Gary Neville and Roy Keane. People have come back at me from them videos and said, look, like, if you're listening to Roy Keane, Gary Neville, these type of players who failed as managers, then they've got no credibility at all, and it's stupid that you're even bringing it up. Well, not really, because do you disagree with what they're saying? Can you actually say that what Roy Keane said is wrong? Like, as a United fan, are you not worried every single game, going to the game or watching it on TV, what is happening? So you can say they're discredited or whatever and you don't like an opinion, but all they're doing, and why I brought it up on the show, is because they are saying what the fans are saying, except they've got a bigger voice in it because more people see it. So really, when they talk about it and they are saying the truth, they're not saying anything different than what every single United fan. And is it what we're supposed to do? Not listen to fans either? So yeah, you discredit them all you want, but what they're saying is true. It's like Samuel Luckhurst, like I just said then from the MEN. People don't like him because he tells the truth in what he says. Sometimes it's a little bit underhand, I will say that. I'll admit that. I think even he would say that. It's not always the truth. Sometimes it's their opinions. And they will put on them pieces when it is their opinion. If you don't like someone's opinion, then it's just tough shit, basically. But he is experienced. He's been around the club. He knows a lot of people at United. And when he's talking about Martial not being back when he's supposed to be back now, then he's right. When he's talking about Donny van der Beek, who is the next one on my list, who I'm going to be talking about, he's right. Everything he says is truth. It's sometimes to the bare bones, but you've got to look at it and go, is he lying really? Is he saying what all United fans are saying, but he's just doing it in an article or in a podcast? Yes, he is. He's doing what I do. I give him my opinion, except he's a bit more experienced than me. And you have to look at what they say and read it and go, you know what? Yeah, I don't like him, but he's right. That's what this world is right now with Man United. On to that rest of the list, actually, before I get on to Donna. Obviously, we talked about Williams and what he's bringing. Tom Heaton, out of contract. I think he will be gone. Obviously, Baynday's there. Situation with Baynday is going to be interesting if he goes, actually. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that, because Galatasaray are reportedly interested in Baynday. That was a waste of time signing by Erik ten Hag Baynday this summer completely. Johnny Evans, literally, he's just clinging on, isn't he, right now, Johnny? Like, he's been fantastic. He's played more games than he did last season for Leicester. And that's saying something, because he was brought in as an emergency loan for pre-season and has turned out to be one of our best performing centre-backs. He literally is trying to nurse his way through a season right now. He's 36. He's the only player since Ryan Giggs past the age of 36 to actually feature in the first team for Manchester United. So there's an interesting fact for you right there. He is literally just dragging himself through the rest of this season right now. It has caught up with him, and he's proof again that United cannot rely on Johnny Evans next season. As much as I love him, I think he's been fantastic. And if he was happy to take a cheap contract and stay around, I would probably take it. Maybe bring him on here and there as a bit of experience, but honestly, it just looks like he's on his last legs, and it's showing now. It really is. That's Evans. And then Amari Forson, like, out of contract. He's not really costing us a lot of money. He's an academy player that I just don't think he's going to get his opportunity at Manchester United. Such is the demand for success right now. A player in that position has to be like what Garnacho's doing. Scoring goals, creating goals. Like, he is. No one's contributed more goals this season. No teenager has contributed as many goals and assists this season than Alejandro Garnacho. That's the standard that Amari Forson has to be at. He isn't going to get the opportunity to do it, unfortunately, because of the demand on Manchester United turning the corner and getting back up the table again. But he's another player that's going to be leaving. So players there, you can argue, yes, are contributing, are not contributing, not really bothered. Big chunks of money there, like over £1 million worth of wages on all of them players there, out of the door. Yes, for nothing, no fees, but balancing over £1 million a week, 4 million plus a month over a year, that's a lot of money. And it does give United a little bit of that negotiating, bargaining chips when it comes to bringing players in this summer. So they're out, but the problem United have got is what's coming back. So they're the easy ones. Coming back, we have... Actually, do you know what? Before we get into the coming back section and we get into that, let's get into the comments. I've not given you guys enough chance yet today to get your comments in. So let's just scroll back up and go. First priority from Daryl would be getting rid of Rashford to PSG. We're getting into this soon enough. But I think Erik ten Hag refused to sell Martial last summer, says Nilanjan. Yep, I think he did. Again, another manager who thought he could get something out of Martial but failed. He never fails, Martial, and disappointing that is. Henry Long, Adam, it's the Glazers who are holding the purse strings. Can you see them taking a hit over players' sale? Do you agree? They have to, mate. Like, Inos are in charge of football. So they are in charge of what fees are brought in, what wages are given. They budget everything, like, and then let the Glazers know. There's no way that Sir Jim is going to spend this amount of money and not have a certain power, a certain amount of power at Manchester United. He's not going to do it. There's not a chance in hell. So, yeah, they will be in charge of a lot of the financial side of things. I heard Martial was taking his medical badges to be our new club doctor, says Stephanie. If you was Manchester United manager, would you sell Varane or sign a new contract? That's a question to me from Michael. I would keep Varane only... Like again, if he was willing to take just under 200 grand a week, I would keep Varane on a 2-year deal. Just how I would do it. A lot of people disagree with that, but that's what I just think he brings quality. I would rather get rid of Maguire and Lindelof in an ideal world and keep Varane. So Evans, Maguire, Lindelof out the door. Bring Camberwella through. Sign another centre-back. That would give you Varane, Martinez, Camberwella and a new centre-back. That's how I would do it. But, hey, that isn't going to happen, unfortunately. Stu says, in order to go, in my opinion, Bushford, I think that's Rashford, 2, Sancho, 3, Greenwood, 4, Martial, 5, Lindelof. Well, Martial's top of the list because he's already gone, mate, so that's out. But in terms of priority, I understand what you're saying in terms of the effect that these players are having on the team. I'm guessing there, Stu. Give the video a like, guys, please. We're almost at that 150 mark. Over 500 in the room with us. Make sure you are subscribing as well if you are just tuning in. I'm Adam. This is Forever United TV. Make sure you download our SofaScore app as well. Bottom right-hand corner there, you can see it in the blue in the corner. It is completely free. If you want to help the channel, contribute to the channel, scan that QR code. We've also got a link in the description if you cannot scan the QR code, depending on what device you're watching on. You may just be watching on your phone and can't scan it. Drop in the description below this video. There is a link there for SofaScore. Download the app, it's free. It's the best football app, stats, everything you need to know about your team and other sports as well. It is the fastest out there as well. So brace yourself for it. It's free, guys. Also, why wouldn't you do it? Get onto it. Speaking of invisible, has anyone seen Rasmus lately? Last 2 games, I've held missing person reports to Chelsea and Manchester Police. Ivo, again, this is the problem I've got with a lot of United fans. I see where you're going. Do we really need to be going into Rasmus Højlund right now with everything else that's going on? Like, the balancing arguments I understand, but let's be fair. Like, this is a guy that's come into the carnage and probably outshone everyone in our front line this season in terms of output. He's having a bad time coming back after another injury. Should we really be looking for a problem in Rasmus Højlund right now? I don't think we should. I understand the concerns, I do. But I don't think we should be even talking about him in the conversation right now with everything else that we are in this video particularly. Sim, Big Jim is Britain's richest man. 1.3 to get in the door. 2 billion stadium, 1 billion on the squad. And he will still have 26 bills to get spent. Get it spent. That's in assets, not available cash though, which you can't always get out that easy. Johnny Evans has been a different class, mate. He's been brilliant, but he's literally fallen apart. And you can't ignore that. Like 36, sadly, he's right at the end of his career now, and it is coming to an end. I want to quickly move on to... We talked about, and just if you are catching up and tuning in, we talked about why Raphael Varane is leaving Manchester United, or why I see it looking more likely that Varane is leaving. The reports for and against in the media today, I think it's more likely with everything that we panned out with Varane that he is going to leave. The players also that I said are going to be leaving Manchester United for nothing this summer. Obviously, Amrabat back from his loan. Martial, Williams, Heaton, Evans and Amari Forson's contracts are all up at the end of the season. So you can look at that really realistically and say, including Varane, that's 7 definitely going this summer for nothing, but saving us over £1 million a week in wages. That all sounds good. That sounds fantastic. The savings we're making, and we're making a move. But here we go. Mason Greenwood, Jadon Sancho, Hannibal Megre, Alvaro Fernandez, Donny van der Beek. We've got a few others. Fish, other players that are on loan, all coming back that are still under contract at Manchester United to counteract everyone that's left. Let's deal with the next line. And again, just not pushing you to the video, but why I did the video last night and why this 3-year plan is not going to work. There's too much to do in the immediate to actually see Manchester United really progressing on the pitch. It's like, yeah, you can start bringing players in, but the issues that are causing us to play crap football and leaks and problems behind the scenes are still going to be there in the first year. It's going to take a year for Inos this summer into next summer, I feel, to start really seeing anything come out of this new plan. Unless they do the unthinkable, which is go right in this summer and just start rinsing everything out of this football club. Like, it'd be a fantastic summer for us, and we'd be glued to our screens like literally every minute of every day going through the transfer window. But like, I just cannot see it happening. I can't. Like, we've still not got Dan Ashworth through the door. So, yeah, it's really annoying. But Donny van der Beek, like, he's been an unused substitute the last 3 games, I think it has been, for Frankfurt. He started, I think, 4 games in his whole spell, and he left at the start of January. 4 games, 4 months near enough. He's not going to be bought by Frankfurt on that 12 million. So he's coming back. I don't think we can get anything for him. So I'm adding him to the free list. Like, I don't know who's going to spend any money on a player that has failed at United, failed at Everton, and failed at Frankfurt. Like, who is going to give us anything for Donny? It's not going to happen, people. So let's accept it. Let's just cut our tie. Donny, gone. Free transfer. Let someone have him. You just have to just say, look, it's not worked out. Sorry, Donny. See you later. His contract ends, I think, next season anyway. So, like, what's the point? Just cut your losses. See you later, Donny van der Beek. Hannibal, I think he'll end up leaving for free, personally. It would be nice to see another academy player come through, but right now, in his position where he wants to play with Mason Mount, with Bruno Fernandes, who I don't see leaving this summer, if Megri wants game time and he wants to progress, I think he has to go. I would love to have seen him got more. I'm being realistic right now. I would like him to stay and get game time. I just don't think he's going to get it. And again, he's like the Armari Folson category of player. Has got potential. We will never see it though. And that's just with the situation at the football club. Thanks for passing the 150 like mark, guys. Brilliant. Really appreciate all of your contributions as well today. Into the next player, obviously, that being Alvaro Fernandez. I'm not even talked about Facundo Palestri either. Let's bring in Alvaro Fernandez and Facundo Palestri into the situation. We've not even got to Sancho and Greenwood yet, by the way. So you can see why I'm building the case for Manchester United chaos this summer. Like, you can talk about the exodus and 7 players going. Whoa, it sounds like a lot. But you've got more players coming back than you have definitely leaving. And you're back to square one again. And the players coming back are even more of an issue than the ones that you're bleeding getting rid of. So, Manchester United summer, yeah, good luck, Inos. It's going to take a lot. And unless you really are committed to what you are saying in the football counts before the commercial side of things, it's not going to work. And I say committed being you getting rid of everyone at cut price deals and just drawing the line. Like the report that someone came up with last night, apparently coming from the club, United are looking to raise 200 million in player sales this summer. Are you kidding me? What are you smoking? Like, seriously, Manchester United have got no chance. I think we'll be lucky to scrape 100 million, and that's with Greenwood and Sancho leaving. Like, you can maybe scrape some more. I've not even touched on Casemiro. That's a different story altogether right now. But Palestri, Alvaro Fernandez, I think there's potential in both of them players. Honestly, I would keep both. I would keep both players at the club. Like, do you need to go out and spend money on a left back rather than a central midfielder? The priority list report that came out yesterday, United going out for a left back, a centre back and a centre forward. I see all of them positions, I do. But right now I'm looking at Alvaro coming back. I'm thinking, Malacia, what's happening with him? I don't know. I would bring Alvaro back and go back. If you haven't got a lot of money, the whole idea about getting 200 million for player sales is complete and utter nonsense. You're not going to get that. If we haven't got a lot of money, which we probably won't have unless PSR changes and their rules change, like I said last night, we're scraping 100 million maybe together for player sales. No Champions League, no Europa League, maybe even. United need to prioritise what's really important. And just off the players that we've talked about there, if Casemiro does go, because the reports about him as well, you're losing Casemiro, you're losing Donny, you're losing Amrabat. You can see where I'm going with this, can't you? And you're not prioritising a midfielder in that holding role this summer. You're expecting an 18-year-old in Kobe Mainu to hold the fort and not get any rest time and play every single game next season? No, the priority has to be midfielder. Scott McTominay isn't good enough. There is 4 or 5 reasons why Manchester United need to be looking at a bleeding central midfielder come the summer. It's absolute nonsense that we are looking at every other part of the pitch apart from there. I understand the forward. That's one of the priorities up there. No argument. Rasmus needs support. Martial's gone. Rashford's not good enough to play 9. We've got one number 9. We need a striker. We need a centre-back for reasons I've just said. Lindelof, Maguire, Evans, Varane. Nobody knows what's going on there with them players. We need a centre-back, definitely. But like I said, that Donny, McTominay not good enough, Casemiro possibly leaving, Amrabat going back from his loan spell. Man United need a centre midfielder. They need a holding midfielder. It's stupid if we don't. It has to be high on the priority. I'd actually go in order of priority. If you're going to spend the money this summer and bring in 3 players, it has to be centre forward, centre mid, centre back. Forget about everything else right now. We can try and look for them players as well. Both sides, left and right back. You do need them players, I think, in this team still. But if you was asking me on a low budget what the priority positions need to be for Manchester United, they have to be the spine of the team, right down the middle. Centre-back, centre-mid, centre-forward. That is where United are being destroyed right now. They really are being destroyed. And probably why we're bringing inverted fullbacks in as well, just to help cover that middle area. And then we get done on the wing, and the pullbacks come into the middle, where we're supposed to have more players, and they're just that ill-disciplined that they're not there, and we always lose the cutback goal in every single game we play. It's ridiculous where we're at right now. How many goals we concede from that position. Let's get into the chat before we finish up, guys, as well. Let's get some of your comments in. Hannibal, Palestri, Forson, Fernandez, all not good enough. Bye, says Lee. He's been cutthroat. Stu says, why are we not renewing? Not like he's not big bucks. The mind boggles. I think that's on Varane. How many players' careers have our medical department ruined, says Chris. Sell the squad and start again, says Stephen. Reset button on FIFA. Dobby says, Martial, a reminder of the Woodward hangover we've been having for years now. I agree, Dobby. United spotlight, we should keep Fernandez. We need 2 left backs, so he's 1. We already have Shaw and Malacia. Get rid of both Martial, 2.0, injury prone and useless to the squad if Chewy can't play. I'm not sure who that is. Hannibal was always going to be a problem with his temper, but did like him as a player. They are both rubbish, Adam. Says Lee again. Anthony, the sheer enormity of the situation at Manchester United can't be solved over one transfer window. We'll still have players at the club next year which should have been let go or sold. Let go or sold, I will add to that, years ago as well. 7 players each season for the next 3 for that project of Inos's, says Jude. More realistic. Yep. Adam, we need 3 midfielders, says Malcolm. 3. Fred says, too much faith being put on Inos to sort this chaos out. 3 years, my foot. Thumbs down. Again, Fred, I agree. I don't think 3 years is doable. Adam, this entire recruitment debacle is a reminder of the idiot that we have in charge of recruitment. Murto, Woodward, Arnold, Judge, like, how many do you want to go into, like, the last 10 years? Scandalous. Absolutely scandalous. We haven't prioritised the centre midfield for 10 years and seems we still can't see why we're wide open. It's crazy. Darryl, priority is getting Rashford out the door. I don't care what else happens. Like, there's a lot of people agreeing. Bluesy says 2 centre-backs, 1 left-back, 1 central midfielder, 1 anchor forward and 1 centre-forward. Chris says Ashworth his mates rates jobs for the boys. There's nothing about Ashworth that I want at this club. I think there is something. There's got to be something at this club that you want Ashworth for, Chris. He's not all that bad. He is better than what we've had at this club over the last decade, mate, and knows his way around football. I'll say that for nothing. But yeah, guys, that pretty much sums all of our news up so far. I mean, I've talked about Varane. I've talked about the players definitely leaving, the players that are definitely coming back, and the issue there. Get your comments in when the video's finished on all of them points as well, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you see it, how you see it happening, what you think is the best option for us in terms of, do we just cut our losses and sell players on the cheap just to get them out the door, save the wages, completely restructure Manchester United? Let me know what you think, guys. But I see Varane definitely leaving. If you break it all down, the pros and cons, why he would want to leave, why United would want to keep him, why he would want to stay, and why United would want him to stay, I think it all sways towards him leaving, personally. If you disagree, get your comments in as well and let me know what you think on that. Give the video a like on your way out, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Mods, subs, members, absolutely fantastic in the comment section. All the super chats. Love you all. I'll see you all at 6:30 tonight, as always, as we will go into our other interactive show, breaking down anything else that has happened with United today. But have a good